Hello my beautiful and makeup loving friends. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Emily and today I am bringing you guys a new twist on a fall palette. I put together this green and purple palette to show you guys that I think would be perfect for fall. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. So I was really inspired to put together a fall palette because a lot of people have been doing that here on YouTube, and I wanted to do my own little version of it. And I was really inspired by, I believe it's called the Hasina 2 from Blush Tribe, which has a lot of purpley tones and a lot of kind of minty green tones as well. So I tried to put together something that I feel like isn't seen a lot when it comes to fall palettes, but I feel like works really well when it comes to fall palettes. Usually when we see a lot of fall type makeup, we get a lot of reds, a lot of oranges, a lot of yellows, which is all very beautiful, but I put something together that's a little bit more unique and a little bit more different than we typically see. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right on into the shades that I chose. So the first shade up here, which is one of my absolute favorites, is the shade Sin by JD Glow Cosmetics. This is one of their Galaxy shadows, and it's a beautiful pale lavender metallic shade, but it has a little bit of a kind of green mint shift and shimmer throughout it, and it's really present on the eyes. You can really see that kind of green purple duochrome happening. It is so freaking gorgeous. The next shade that I chose for this palette is this super stunning matte lavender shade, which is called Electric Purple by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I mean, do I really have to explain why I like this shade and why it works perfectly with what we have going on here? I don't think so. This is a beautiful, true hot lavender matte shade. It is so pigmented and so stunning. Right next to it is its counterpart, Blackened Plum by Give Me Glow Cosmetics, which is a beautiful blackened plum. Obviously, the name states it all. This shade definitely has a bit of a burgundy undertone, and it's a little bit more neutral and almost a little bit warmer than the rest of the purple shades we've seen thus far, but I think that it ties in so perfectly with this entire row. It just works so well as a deepening shade, especially for this really bright lavender. If I'm ever doing a look with Electric Purple and I don't want it to be so neon purple, I'll mix in a little bit of Blackened Plum here and it'll definitely neutralize it just a touch. Moving right along to the little guys over here, we have the shade Cashmere by Looxi Beauty, which is this beautiful kind of mauvey, rosy, cool toned pink. This is stunning to start out any look with. I have this in my crease today. I have it buffed out with this shade that's next to it, and oh my goodness, it just works so beautifully with purples and with berries and with pinks. I absolutely adore it. And it has a little bit of a mauvey undertone to it, so I think it ties really well with other purples. The shade that I have all throughout the crease today is the shade Berry Pop from the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. Now, I actually went out and bought two different Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette just to get two different pans of Berry Pop. I know it's insane, especially because there's definitely dupes out there, but at the time I wasn't thinking rationally, okay? I found a shadow that I absolutely loved and I knew that I had to have more of it. But as you can see, it is a beautiful, true berry matte shade that has a lot of a magenta undertone to it, and it has a bit of purple as well. And at the time I was only really finding burgundies that had a lot of brown or a lot of red to them, and I wanted something that was definitely a bit more magenta. So lucky for me, I had found the most perfect berry shade, but unfortunately it just came with 4 other shades as well. So obviously the setup of this palette isn't exactly the best and everything's kind of out of whack here, but I'm just gonna follow the purples and just go down to the second row here. But the next shade that I have to show you guys is this beautiful duochrome gorgeousness right over in the corner here, and this is the shade Duper Star by Looxi Beauty. This is a bestseller for them and for a really good reason. This is such a stunning duochrome magenta and duochrome blue shade. Duper Star is about as beautiful as a purple shadow can get. As you can see, especially in the swatches, it has a really strong magenta undertone to it and a magenta flip, but the actual base of the shadow itself is almost like a cool toned kind of periwinkle blue. It is so prominent on the eyes and it just is the star of any purple look that you use this with. It is so freaking gorgeous. I cannot say enough good things about it. So moving on to the next shade over here, this is actually a shadow that I haven't used on my eyes yet. I literally got it in the mail yesterday, and this is Cleonid's Bon Bon. Now, I wanted to include it in this palette because obviously I put this together to use it for myself, and I'm definitely going to be reaching for Bon Bon because look at this beautiful eyeshadow here. If Duper Star was just a purple eyeshadow, it would probably look exactly like Bon Bon. It's a beautiful, really pink toned magenta purple, and I know Cleonid's formula, I know their shimmer shadows, they are absolutely stunning. And side note here, the Cleonid girls are so freaking cute. On the invoice that they sent over with my package, they wrote, "We watch all your videos," and I was just like, that's the cutest thing in the freaking world. I love them. They are great. Their products are great. They're awesome. So now that we've finished out the purples here, let's go ahead and move down to the green row of this fall palette. So the first beautiful metallic shiny green that we see down here is the shade Jade by Give Me Glow Cosmetics. This is the most gorgeous metallic minty jade green I have ever seen. It is so reflective, so beautiful on the eyes. I absolutely adore it. They recently came out with a shade called Electric Mint, which is very similar to Jade, but it looks to be a bit more bright and a little bit more mint toned versus this one that has a bit more of kind of like a jade green aspect to it, of course. But I don't know if they're different enough to actually purchase it. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if I should just do it because I absolutely love shadows like that and I love their formula, so I might just bite the bullet and get Electric Mint as well. Then we have a little duo here and I'll explain in a little bit, but let's just talk about the top of the duo. The top shadow up here, which is a beautiful metallic super shiny periwinkle blue, is the shade Dreamboat by Looxi Beauty, and it is exactly that. The shade is a freaking dream. It is so beautiful if you are into blues. It is beautiful with purple tones as well. You could use matte purples in the crease, pop this on the lid, and have a really stunning kind of periwinkle and purple type of look. Now the shade underneath is kind of like my bonus shade for this palette. This is a gorgeous purple blue iridescent with a little bit of a white iridescence running throughout it, and it is from the Lorac 4 palette. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. I think it's called Lotus. I'm not 100% sure though, but I think it might be Lotus. Something's telling me that that's the name. But as I said, it is a beautiful iridescent shade that has a lot of purple in it, and I wanted to include this because I feel like it would be beautiful as a brow bone highlight and as an inner corner highlight. Moving down the line here, we have this gorgeous iridescent yellow gold with a little bit of a white iridescence running through it as well, which is called Makeup Geek's Voltage. This is a very popular shade from Makeup Geek, and it is absolutely stunning. This would be beautiful as an inner corner highlight, an all over lid shade, brow bone highlight, face highlight, and that's why I wanted to put it in here because it has so many uses and you can use it with the purples, the berries, the mauves, the greens. You can use it with literally anything in this palette because it has that kind of white gold iridescence to it. It doesn't lean too cool and it doesn't lean too warm. And moving on to the greens over here in the corner, we have the shade Green Apple by Looxi Beauty. Now I mentioned this on my channel before and I kept calling it Caramel Apple. I'm sorry. To me this looks exactly like a Granny Smith apple, and when I see shades like this and when I see Granny Smith apples, all I can think about is caramel dipped apples because I absolutely love them, even though I can't eat them because I have fillings in my teeth and it will rip them right out of my head. But I love this shade. It is so pigmented and blendable for a green, and it kind of has a bit of a baby pukey kind of undertone to it, if you will. But this shade doesn't muddy up on the eyes at all, and it's still very pigmented and very blendable. And I do find that some like baby pukey, mustardy, greeny type shades can muddy up so freaking easily on the eyes. If you want to have a muddy eyeshadow look and you don't really know how to work eyeshadows that well, just reach for like a baby pukey brown with a mustard and it will get muddy really, really quickly. But with this shade, they put in the right amount of like a neon type green mixed with that mustardy baby pukey type of shade. It just looks so nice on the eyes, which is strange because you think baby puke colored things wouldn't look good on the eyes, but somehow it does. Then we have Moneymaker, which this shade just looks exactly like money and just reminds me of dollar bills. It reminds me that I'm poor because I don't have dollar bills. But this is a beautiful metallic green shade that has a bit of kind of like a foresty green undertone, but it still has that kind of baby pukey quality to it like Green Apple does. To me, these shades are perfect for each other. They are perfect counterparts. Honestly, this entire row of 4 shadows down here are the most perfect quad if you're looking for green eyeshadows. Trust me, they are beautiful. And last but certainly not least, we have the shade Cypress by Looxi Beauty. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I see a deep green shadow like this, I automatically think, all right, this is gonna be patchy, this is gonna be kind of hard to work with, especially with like deep navies or deep evergreeny shades. I definitely go into it with kind of a prejudice that it's going to be patchy. But I was pleasantly surprised when I first went into the shade Cypress because it blended like a dream. It was a little bit more sheer than I'm typically used to when it comes to deep shadows, but it builds up on itself really, really nicely, and you can definitely get to the color that you see in the pan if you'd like to. You just have to add a few layers on, and because it's not so pigmented at first, it makes it so easy to blend out, and it's really easy to layer up. It layers up beautifully, and you can apply this as kind of like a sheer wash of deep green, or you can really build it up to get that beautiful deepened forest green as well. But those are all of the shades that I wanted to show you guys today out of my little green and purple unique fall palette. As I said, I will have the Blush Tribe palette linked down below in case you guys want to check that out and you're looking for a green and purple palette and you don't want to go out and buy singles. I will definitely have that linked down below. I just wanted to pick out some stuff for myself because I want the Blush Tribe palette. I really do want it, but I don't want to go out and buy it because I knew that I had purples and greens in my collection that I could put together and make work very similarly to the looks that I've seen from the Blush Tribe palette, if that makes sense. I'm trying to save some money here, okay? But please do let me know down in the comments below, what are your favorite eyeshadows for fall? What are some eyeshadows that you are going to be trying for this fall? Are you going to be stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, or are you going to be using more of these traditional fall colors that we see a lot, like kind of pumpkin-y oranges and yellows and reds, or are you going to be trying something a little bit different? But with that being said, that is going to be wrapping it up for me today. I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel, so if you are not already subscribed and you would like to be, I would love to see you hit that button down below. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up and turning on the notification bell if you want to know when I am posting and you do enjoy my videos. But I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!